When I took a crowbar to 4 ATVs and scattered their twisted remains across my HOA VYC president's manicured front yard, I wasn't aiming to ignite a neighborhood feud, I was burying one. Or so I thought. This wasn't some blockbuster script with slow-motion explosions and a swelling soundtrack. This was real life, raw and messy, starring me, Elliot Grayson, the guy who thought moving to Willow Creek Estates meant quiet evenings and a cold beer on the porch. Instead, I got Vanessa, a woman who wielded her laminated HOA rulebook like a scepter and treated her cul-de-sac kingdom like a battlefield. She didn't just lose gracefully. She didn't lose it all until I made sure she did. And trust me, it started way before the ATVs met their end. It all kicked off 6 months earlier when I rolled into Willow Creek with a U-Haul and a naive hope for normalcy. The neighborhood looked like a postcard. Neat lawns, white picket fences, kids on scooters. I bought a fixer-upper just beyond the official HOA line, technically free from their clutches, or so the realtor swore. The ink wasn't even dry on the deed when Vanessa appeared at my door, a VY shown in yoga pants and passive-aggressive cheer. She wasn't alone. She had her welcome packet, a 3-ring binder thicker than a phone book, stuffed with rules I supposedly didn't have to follow. "I'm Vanessa Torres," she said, her smile sharp enough to cut glass. "Acting HOA VYC president. We're expanding our jurisdiction soon, so you'll want to get ahead of this." She handed me the binder like it was a holy relic. I chuckled, thinking she was kidding. Her eyes narrowed. She wasn't. The first month, I ignored her. My mailbox was apparently non-compliant, too blue, my trash cans lingered curbside 10 minutes too long, and my gravel driveway disrupted the aesthetic flow. I trashed her emails and tossed her neon orange violation notices in a drawer. Big mistake. Vanessa didn't need my attention to escalate. She thrived on silent defiance. By week 5, the noises started. Every Tuesday and Friday, like clockwork, engines roared through the streets at midnight, high-pitched whines that sounded like chainsaws on steroids. The HOA group chat lit up with complaints. Illegal racing. Noise violations. Someone do something. Vanessa pinned it on rogue teens, promising swift justice. I fired back in the chat. "Wish I could join the fun, but my and VY Cybel ATVs getting a tune-up." Crickets. Then a flyer appeared in my mailbox. "Respect our peaceful community." Subtle, Vanessa. Real subtle. Things got weird when I came home one Saturday to find my shed door ajar. Not wide open, just enough to make the hairs on my neck stand up. I grabbed a flashlight, expecting raccoons or a busted latch. Instead, I found 4 ATVs parked inside, mud-caked, gleaming under the beam, tucked behind a tarp like a bad secret. I don't own ATVs. Never have. Yet there they were, Yunin VY Ted guests in my locked shed. I checked the padlock, no scratches, no dents. Someone had a key or a hell of a lockpick. I called the sheriff's office. 2 deputies showed up, poked around, and shrugged. "No theft report matches these," one said, scratching his beard. "No break-in EVY Denke either." CIVYL matter, I guess. CIVYL? For mystery ATVs materialize in my shed, and it's CIVYL? I snapped photos anyway, zooming in on a faded sticker on one, a parking pass for Willow Creek High. A quick Instagram scroll later, I had my suspect, Vanessa's daughter, Mia, 17, all grins and throttle in her late-night rides posts. I left a note on Vanessa's porch. "Hey, think Mia misplaced some stuff in my shed. Please have her grab it." Polite, direct, deniable. The next day, a violation notice arrived: unauthorized storage of recreational vehicles on HOA-adjacent property. She turned her kid's stunt into my fine. I marched over, catching her hosing down her prize azaleas. The hose ran from a spigot on my side of the line, hooked to my private well I'd sunk due la 8,000 into because city water didn't reach this far. "That your water?" I asked, voice tight. She waved me off. HOA approved a shared irrigation plan. It's in the updated bylaws. Bylaws I wasn't under. I stared, dumbfounded, as she watered her garden with my dime. That's when I stopped playing nice. I called my buddy Jake, a plumber with a wicked sense of humor. We rigged a little surprise. Rerouted the line Vanessa tapped into a tank of stagnant, run-if non-toxic, but rank enough to gag a skunk. I flipped the valve at dusk. By morning, her yard reeked like a landfill on a hot day. She stormed outside, shrieking about sabotage, her azaleas drooping in defeat. I leaned on my fence, sipping coffee. Maybe your bylaws need a hazmat clause. She threatened lawsuits, waved her phone like a weapon. I grinned. Go ahead. Explain the illegal tap to a judge and the ATVs while you're at it. She froze, then retreated. Round one me. But Vanessa wasn't done. My new security cam caught her next move. Mia, hooded and sneaky, slipping through my gate at 2 a.m. She punched a code into my shed's keypad me code and the door slid open. She was back for the ATVs. Except I changed the code that afternoon, swapping the old default for a custom one. The door didn't budge. She panicked, kicked it, and tripped a motion sensor. Floodlights blazed, pinning her like a deer in headlights. She bolted, Leah VYing a shoe in the mud. I rewatched the footage, heart pounding not from the trespass, but from the realization. Vanessa had my original code. She'd been in my shed before, probably planted the ATVs herself. This wasn't a prank. This was a setup. I printed stills, time-stamped them, and taped them to her door with a note. Caught your delivery girl. Next time I pressed charges. Then I crashed the HOA meeting. It was in Vanessa's dining room, all faux elegance and stale cookies. She droned on about mulch standards, her voice dripping with smug control. I raised my hand. She ignored me. I kept it up until the room squirmed. Vanessa, I said, loud and calm, before we debate mailbox heights, let's talk felony trespassing. I slid a USB drive across her table. Your daughter breaking into my shed, 2:03 a.m. Last night. Wanna watch? The air went thick. Her jaw tightened. You're not HOA, Elliot. You don't get a vote or a voice. I smirked. Then why am I drowning in your citations? Murmurs rippled. Faces turned. I pressed harder. Also, had a surveyor out. My lot's 15 feet outside your boundary. Your fines are toilet paper and that water tap. That's theft. Her husband, Paul, a ghost of a man, slipped out to the garage mid-sentence. Smart guy. Vanessa tried to pivot. We're drafting an annexation to include outliers like you. It's in progress. I laughed, cold and sharp. Annex me? You'll need City Hall, a zoning board, and every vote in this room. Good luck when half of them hate your guts. I nodded at Tom and Lisa, a couple whose sleep had been shredded by Mia's midnight revying. Tom grunted agreement. Lisa muttered, thought it was feral hogs on wheels. Vanessa adjourned early, her empire wobbling. She retaliated with a barrage of nonsense violations. Unapproved exterior lighting, my porch bulb, excessive vegetation, a rogue dandelion. Noise disturbance, my dog's bark. I lawyered up. My attorney, Claire, cackled through her first call. This is unhinged. I'm in half rate. Let's bury her. She told me to document everything, every notice, every frame of footage. I upgraded my defenses. Encrypted locks, more cameras, even a hidden lens inside the shed. Vanessa countered with a laughable cease and desist, claiming I was harassing the HOA with baseless accusations. It was typed in Comic Sans, riddled with typosa legal fever dream. I framed it. Then she upped the ante. A landscaping crew rolled up to her place, unloading you guessed it 4 ATVs under tarps. 20 minutes later, my app pinged. Mia, back in my shed, dragging an ATV toward the side door. She tripped a new sensor. Sprinklers erupted, soaking her and the machine. She slipped, smacked her knee on a shovel, and limped off cursing, ATV abandoned. I texted Vanessa a screenshot. Round 2. Keep trying. She didn't reply. That's when I snapped not in rage, but in clarity. If she wouldn't stop show VYing her mess onto my turf, I'd send it back in pieces. I consulted Claire first. Repeated trespass, documented notices, private property, yep, you could dispose of it. Don't profit, though. And record it. Perfect. The ATVs had reappeared in my shed overnight, same keyless entry, same arrogance. I didn't call the cops. I grabbed a crowbar, set up a camera, and went live for my own sanity. Elliot Grayson, August 12th, 2025. 4 ATVs illegally dumped in my shed after multiple warnings. Here's what happens next. I swung. Metal groaned, plastic shattered, tires popped. It was primal, cathartic, a symphony of destruction. For hours later, the shed was a scrapyard. I sorted the wreckage into bins, labeled them Torres property, and wheeled it to Vanessa's lawn. I arranged it like a sculpture, a fender as a pedestal, handlebars splayed like antlers, a seat perched atop the heap. A sign in Sharpie, "Return to sender." She exploded out her door, screaming my name, threats, curses, her voice a banshee wail that cracked mid-rant. She hurled a mangled wheel at my porch. It rolled in my bushes. I sat there, beer in hand, and waved. Cops arrived, her summons. I handed over my dossier, footage, notices, surveyor maps, water bills spiked by her tap. The deputy whistled. "Man, you're a one-man EVY Denke factory. She's got nothing criminal Hirisi VY, L's her only shot, and it's a long one." Vanessa fumed, but the law wasn't hers to bend anymore. I filed a harassment claim with the city. Next day, every violation, every trespass, every glare. A week later, she got a no-contact order. 6 months of silence. No HOA meddling on my land. The neighborhood buzzed. Vanessa's iron grip slipped. People whispered about her water theft, her daughter's stunts. I didn't stop there. I dug into HOA records, public docs. Claire helped me access and found gold. Dulas $7,800 in miscellaneous expenses over 2 years, no receipts. Fancy planters on Vanessa's patio matched the timeline. I filed a state complaint, attaching everything. VY Deos, financials, bylaws she twisted into knots. The housing board opened an audit. Slow, sure, and unstoppable. At the next HOA meeting, Vanessa tried to rally. She pitched a fall cleanup drive, voice brittle. The treasurer Mark cut in. "Vanessa, what's this due lot? $2,200 for emergency decor last spring. No vote, no invoice." She stammered, "Community banners." Mark held up a photo of her porch, dripping with HOA flags. "These?" The room turned. Questions flew. Where's the budget? Why only your street gets fined? What about Mia's ATVs? Vanessa's reign imploded in real time. 2 days later, the state's notice hit. Step down or face charges. She quit, citing family priorities. Bullshit. She was cooked. Then the twist. Neighbors knocked on my door, begging me to run for VP. I laughed till my ribs hurt. Me? The crowbar guy. They insisted. I ran as shed sentinel, half joking. I wanted her out. Vanessa didn't vote, probably shredding her rulebook in rage. I rewrote the HOA from the ground up. No secret fines, no Union VY TED inspections, full transparency. Meetings got coffee and donuts. People showed up smiling. Violations dropped. Sanity returned. One last jab. I installed floodlights, legal, bright, aimed at Vanessa's house. Nighttime became her spotlight hell. She fought it, lost, and 3 months later, her yard sprouted a for sale sign. We threw a block party when she left unplanned, joyous, free. Kids drew chalk murals, my windmill whirred its rusty tune, and I finally got my piece. Sometimes I replay the footage. Mia's sprinkler flop, Vanessa's lawn meltdown, the HOA's stunned faces. It's not just VY Tory, it's proof that when a tyrant like Vanessa overreaches, someone's going to swing back. And if that someone's got a crowbar and a camera, that's justice, Suburban style. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.